Welcome to Our Candy Rose, for those who stay, a podcast created in loving memory of my daughter, Candace Rose, who lived from 2007 to 2025. Your life will not be in vain. Everything we do will be in your name. So there's a feeling I've been sitting with lately. It's hard to name. Not sadness, though I know sadness way too well. Not fear. I've also lived through fear too. Not even peace exactly. The best word I have for it is strange. It's a feeling that comes when your life no longer looks the way that it did, but the next version hasn't fully arrived yet. Some people call this a transition. Some people call it grief. And if you're a little hippy-dippy like me, you might recognize it as a cycle closing. When I look back at my life in order, it reads almost like chapters that keep closing before I was ready. I graduated high school in 2004. 2005, I joined the Air Force, straight into structure and service and purpose. 2007, I had Candace. 2008, I got married. 2010, I had Bella Boo. Astrologers would probably say this was a period where my life was being built brick by brick, roll by roll. I didn't have much say in the pace. The momentum carried me. 2013, divorced. 2015, separated from the Air Force. Then started nursing school. So still serving, just in a different uniform. In 2007, my dad passed away. People who study cycles talk about moments like this as threshold losses, the kind that quietly shift the axis of your life. In 2018, I graduated from nursing school and started working at the VA. Personal relationships came and went. Lessons repeated until I fully understood them. And then in 2025, Candace passed away. And we moved to North Carolina. If you believe in timing, and some days I do, some days I don't, this feels like the end of a very long orbit. There's something astrology talks about that I find oddly comforting. Long transits, not quick changes, not plot twists, but slow ocean tide movements that shape who you become over the years, sometimes decades, whether you notice it or not. Looking back, it feels like my adult life was lived under one of those tides. A season of service, a season of motherhood, a season of loving without guarantees, a season of holding grief while still trying to function. I didn't choose it all consciously, but I grew into it. Losing Candace wasn't just losing my child. It was the moment the tide went still. The role that had organized my entire identity since I was barely an adult. Mother, protector, guide, suddenly no longer had a physical place to land. Astrologically, this is the kind of moment they'd call an identity death. Spiritually, it just felt like standing barefoot in space. And once the shock softened just enough for quiet to arrive, so did that strange feeling. It feels like standing in the space between eclipses. The old chapter is done, the next one hasn't revealed itself yet. No urgency, no instructions, no clear map, just breath. For someone who's lived most of their life being needed, this space can feel unsettling. Because when survival mode turns off, you're left with a question you've never had the time to ask. Who am I when I'm not enduring? In spiritual language, this is called liminal space, the hallway between rooms, the dark of the moon before a new cycle begins, the pause where nothing is wrong but nothing is defined yet either. You can rush through it, or you can honor it. I'm learning to sit here even when it feels strange. I don't think every season is meant to be productive. Some are meant to be composted, broken down, returned to the soil. If my life up to 2025 was a long initiation, then maybe this moment isn't about becoming something new yet. Maybe it's about finally being without dissolving completely. If you're listening and you feel that strange floating feeling too, like the ground you stood on is gone, but you're not falling, I want you to know you're not lost. You're in between. And in astrology, the in between is sacred. It's where intention is born quietly. Before you go, I want to leave you with a simple reflection. Not something you have to answer perfectly, just something to notice. If life moves in seasons, and if we really are shaped by long cycles, ask yourself this: what chapter in my life is quietly closing? Even if I haven't fully said goodbye yet. And then, without forcing clarity, what part of me is resting now? Not because it's broken, but because it's preparing. You don't need answers. You don't need a plan, just awareness. Sometimes naming the in-between is enough to let the next season find you. For those becoming, may you trust the pause between chapters. Nothing is missing. The next season will arrive when it's ready. Thank you for listening. For those who stay, we remember. I love you.